What's up, guys? Jags Nation here, bringing you another video. And today's video is going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars at Cincinnati Bengals Week 7 game preview / predictions. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. Shouldn't be that long of a video, not much to really cover, but same thing as always. 3 keys for the offense, 3 keys for the defense, 1 prediction for the offense, 1 prediction for the defense. Alright, so yeah, on paper, the Jaguars should win this game. And I want to say easily, but I don't want to sound too cocky, but on paper, the Jaguars are the better team, and just overall, the Jaguars are a better team. This is a game the Jaguars need to win to have a chance again to stay in the hunt for the AFC South title, even a wild card spot. But this just not a game they need to win. This is a game they're supposed to win. They're about 3.5-point favorites, but the Bengals are just so banged up on the offensive side of the ball, defense side of the ball. I just think the Jaguars, this should be their bounce back game. I mean, just looking at the Bengals injury report, they got left tackle Cordy Glenn, who's out, but I think he's suspended for 1 game anyways. A.J. Green, that's not a surprise. You also had John Ross, who's out for a few weeks. You got cornerback William Jackson, Drake Kirkpatrick, defensive end Carl Lawson, right guard John Miller, left tackle Andre Smith. I mean, so they're basically starting their third or fourth left tackle, and then also Carlos Dunlap is doubtful. So yeah, they're banged up on the offense and defense side of the ball, and for the most part, the Jaguars are healthy. Yeah, Marquise Lee's out with a ankle injury. Jeff Swain's out with a concussion, and then D.D. Westbrook is questionable, but I read that he's supposed to play anyways tomorrow on Sunday. And then that means Josh Oliver is going to make his NFL debut, which I'm super excited for, even though he may not, be a big part of the game plan, but just having him out there to get that game experience is going to be huge, and be able to play in the middle of the field, get like kind of like little crossing routes or like 5-yard routes to get a first down. It's definitely going to help Gardner Minshew out, because I know they were roommates during training camp before Josh Oliver got hurt, and even while he was hurt, they were still roommates. And Josh Oliver during camp and rookie minicamp was looking like the real deal, the 3rd round pick. He just looked like the number 1 tight end the Jaguars were looking for a while, and I'm excited to see him play, and I hopefully he catches a touchdown or 2, but we'll see what happens. But as long as he's out there getting that game experience to get better each week. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the offense. 3 keys. Number 1 is run the ball. I mean, that should be number 1, I think, every week for the Jaguars, but especially this week. You're going against the Bengals, who I believe are the worst team at stopping the run. They're averaging, like 150 to like 180 yards a game on the ground. I mean, Leonard Fournette should go crazy, and I'm hopefully to see more Armstead out there too. So I expect Leonard Fournette to have a big game, and hopefully he has a big game. They need to stick to the run, going up the middle, going to the outside, and if they can get that run game going, it's going to help the play action out. And then the second one is take deep shots. With William Jackson and Drake Kirkpatrick out, I think that Jags are poised to have either Chris Conley, D.D. Westbrook, or D.J. Chark to break out, and hopefully any of them, honestly, but I'd love to see D.J. Chark to continue his trend towards 1,000 yards this season. And like I said, take deep shots. I mean, if you're like maybe a deep shot on first down or just 2nd and 5 instead of running the ball, but if you get the running game going, you can take your deep shots, and the play action is going to work a lot better. And then the third and final one is don't turn the ball over. I mean, that should be said every week, is don't turn the ball over. If you win the turnover battle, the majority of the time you're going to win the game. As simple as that. Don't put the defense in, where they're already basically at the goal line. Only the Bengals only have to go 20 yards to score. That just makes the defense look bad, and then obviously that gets the defense pissed off when they're always out there because you're turning the ball over. But yeah, don't turn the ball over. Don't throw interceptions, even though Gardner's only thrown 2 over the year. Just control the fumbles. Don't throw interceptions, and just win the turnover battle. So now for the defense, the first one is get sacking pressures on Andy Dalton. I mean, Andy Dalton's known for making mistakes, throwing interceptions, taking sacks. Their offensive line is probably one of the worst in football now. Like with 3 of their offensive linemen out for this game, but their starting left tackle and I believe their backup left tackle is out. So Yannick, Josh Allen, Calais, they should feast on Andy Dalton. Hopefully they get a big game with multiple sacks for all of them. And then the second one is stop the run. This is something we usually struggle at for the most part. I thought last week against the Saints we did a pretty decent job stopping Kamara. I think he only had like 40 yards on the ground, but Murray had I believe 80 or 90. But yeah, so yeah, just control the big playability by Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is a pretty good running back in my opinion. Last year I believe he had over 1,000 yards. So he's proven he can break off long runs. He's a pretty decent back, but I mean, other than AJ Green, they have Tyler Boyd, who I think is a pretty good receiver. But Joe Mixon is basically their only other offensive weapon besides Tyler Boyd. So yeah, stop the run, and then hopefully that will be a key to win this game. And the third and final one is forced turnovers. We only have 2 on the year. Week 2 against the Titans, the special teams fumble recovery, and then the week 3 against the Titans fumble recovery, and then week 4 interception by Rodney Harrison. So yeah, I don't care if it's interceptions, forced fumbles / obviously fumble recoveries. Just win the turnover battle. Same thing like I said for the offense, don't turn the ball over, but for defense, get the turnovers. Per offense in great field position already in the red zone or even like at the 50, just anywhere, just like force turnovers. I'm getting sick of not seeing any turnovers when the other team that we're facing usually gets 1 or 2, and we barely get 1 every other 3 games. It's just getting annoying. And I'm a defensive guy. I like watching sacks and then also interception and fumble recoveries and stuff like that. So yeah, so definitely force turnovers, and that should be one of the other keys to beating the Cincinnati Bengals. So yeah, let's go ahead and do my 2 bold predictions, one for the offense, one for the defense. The defensive one I think the defense comes out guns blazing, gets 6+ sacks on Andy Dalton. And I'm going to go ahead and say, Yannick gets 2. I'm going to say Josh Allen gets 2 as well. And then for the offense, I think Leonard Fournette has a big game. I think he runs for over 125 yards and 1 touchdown, maybe even 2. But I think Leonard Fournette's poised to have a breakout game. He had, I believe, 70 yards rushing last week and had 40 receiving. So he had over 100 total yards for the 3rd straight game in a row. But hopefully this week he can get back to having those over 100-yard rushing games and continuing his quest for over 1,000 yards rushing again for the first time since 2017, his rookie year. Let's see here. I think he's 3rd in the NFL right now in rushing and number 2 in the AFC, so he's definitely up there. And he's having a great season, in my opinion, in pass blocking, catching, and running the football. The offensive line, for the most part, is doing a great job, I think, this year in the running department, not the passing department. I think passing game was better It's crazy. I thought Gardner didn't have a great game last week. I know shouldn't be talking about the Saints game, but I'm going to go ahead and give my thoughts on the offensive line really quick. But Gardner didn't have a good game last week, and he had a lot of time in the pocket, I think we only gave up 2 or 3 sacks. I thought for the pass protection, they did pretty good. They definitely gotten better over the weeks since the Panthers game. Last week they did do better than the Panthers game. But overall, I thought the run blocking has done pretty decent this year. Not amazing, but enough to get the job done. And hopefully they continue to create more holes for Leonard Fournette to run up the middle. And then also, hopefully, our offensive coordinator, John DeFilippo, gets more plays for Leonard Fournette to run to the outside, because I think he's better at running the outside. So yeah, let's go ahead and go over the 3 keys. Again, offense, run the ball, don't turn the ball over, and take deep shots. And then for defense, force turnovers, stop the run, and get sacks / pressure the quarterback. And then, yeah, so like I said, this is a game that we should win, and I hope we win, knock on wood. But this is like the type of game the Jags usually tend to, I shouldn't say lose, but make it closer than it should be. And I just hope it's not, one of those upset games and just I don't know. I'm just nervous because this is a game we should win on paper. We're the better team. Overall, we're the better team. The Bengals are 0-6. They're 0-6 for a reason, because they're not good and they're injured. So we need to take advantage of their injuries and just play good football and win this game. Go to 3-4 in the next week. Play the Jets. Hopefully get to 4-4 and go to London 4-4 and face the Texans. These next 2 games, this game against the Bengals and next week against the Jets, are huge games, but not just for the Jaguars in general, but for Gardner Minshew. If he can ball out these next 2 games, they even play good against the Texans, I think they're going to keep him in for the remainder of the season. But if he doesn't do good in really any of these next 3 games, I believe they're just going to put Nick Foles back in. But yeah, it's a big game for the Jags, big game for Gardner Minshew, just big game all around, and hopefully our defense comes out balling out. And with Jalen Ramsey not there, I think it's less of a distraction, even though I don't think it was a distraction that much for the locker room. But you can tell some players are kind of happy that he's gone. They don't have to worry about the headache anymore. But some players are a little upset. But hopefully we all come together and just use this as motivation and come out there and dominate the Bengals. I would love to win 40-10, but I don't see that happening. I usually don't do score predictions, but if I had to say something, I'd probably do 27-13 maybe, something like that. But yeah, just go Jags, win this game. Let's get to 3-4, and bring home this dub. Later.